The Niners, I think a couple things have to happen at the trade deadline. One, I think you've got to find a replacement for Bosa, whether that's a Hendrickson from Cincinnati or a Phillips from Miami or
from New York.
Thibodeau from the Giants, somebody that is a bona fide, real-time edge rusher that can get to the quarterback. That would be the number one thing I think they need. The second thing is I think they're going to need to bolster the offensive line, the middle of the offensive line, whether it's the center position.
Do that for a long time. You want to hear a crazy trade I heard today, Dan?
Sure.
Brock Purdy for Max Crosby, straight up. Raiders need a quarterback, and they're going to go all in with Mac Jones, and they get Max Crosby, who may be better than Bosa. He may in fact be better than Bosa. He's definitely healthier than Bosa.
Well, that's a very interesting.
Yeah,
that would be an interesting.
You wouldn't have to give up any draft picks, but you would have to go all in on Mac Jones being your quarterback and staying healthy. Because if he goes down, then Adrian Martinez is not going to do it.
Yeah, I love the idea of having two solid quarterbacks, though. So, because you never know. I mean, we never will find out what would have happened in that Super Bowl when the Bills played the Giants. Had Roger Craig not fumbled that ball, would Steve Young have been the quarterback? Because remember, Montana got blasted by, I think it was Leonard Marshall or somebody.
When you could hit the quarterback.
Now it's like you blow on Mahomes and it's like
didn't even get a flag for that hit.
No,
that was a vicious hit. Whew.
Oh, that was vicious. And I don't know if he would have been healthy enough for that Super Bowl.
No.
But I felt good with Steve Young. And I think that's such an important position to not have a reliable backup. That's been the problem for the Niners. I mean, look what happened when they played Philadelphia and Brock went out. It's like they had nothing.
That was it. They were done.
Yeah. So, all right. So we think the Niners have the best shot. Then I would rank it like this. I'd go Niners, Sharks. Man, the Warriors, if they don't get it done in the next year or two, I think they could be looking like the Sharks. I mean,
back to the Franklin Muley days.
And the Giants, I just don't know about them. I just don't know, because I think they have a short window right now, and that because Chapman's going to be 33. He's still got 5 more years left on the contract. He's going to play through age 37. And we all know what happens to players when they get older. Around 34, the bat speed starts declining. And all of a sudden, those 400-foot home runs become 394-foot outs. They just don't have enough to get, because the bat speed, you need that bat speed for the power. So
the Giants have a young power hitter in their minor league system that I've been reading about named Dakota Jordan. I believe.
Dakota Jordan. He could be a stud.
He is very intriguing, and I would love to see him take the next step in spring training and just force the Giants' hands. I'm too good to send down to keep.
He's a couple years away, I think, though, because he's
how old is he? 20, 21?
Dakota Jordan. I'm not exactly sure. I want to say he's at least 21.
His power is off the charts.
Yeah.
Him, Devers, and Eldridge potentially. Ooh, I mean, just
I can look him up. Jordan is 22 right now.
Okay,
yeah,
so
he's 22. He'll be 23 next year in May. He's he pretty much played this year at only low A ball. So his next stop will be up in Eugene, Oregon, in high A next year. He could probably push the envelope and get to double A at some point next year.
It would be a big jump for sure.
Yeah, and then the 20
Gone are the days where guys go from
Yeah.
single A and double A to the majors and succeed.
He might be able to get to double A at some point next year, and then triple A in 27, and then then you're just a call up away. So, it's interesting. Let's do this real quick. Let's before we get out of here, let's rank the coaches. And we'll leave the Sharks out because I'll be just very frank. I'm not up on hockey coaches as well as I am. But let's rank the coaches. You got Steve Kerr, Kyle Shanahan, and to be named, to be determined with the Giants. So we know right now if the Giants, if they hire, they're not rehiring Bochy, but if they did, he would be considered right there at the top. But I guess in my view, I would put Kerr number one just because he's won so many titles.
No brainer.
Okay. And then Shanahan's the obvious two. He's knocking on the door. He's been there twice and he's almost knocked it down both times. And then who the Giants hire is, going to be third. But there's a lot of the Bay Area has had some tremendous teams, athletes, coaches, broadcasters. Bay Area has a rich sports history, Los.
I would say the better question, since the Giants don't have a manager, would be how about like the front office or the GM? So we'd be comparing Posey, John Lynch, and Mike Dunleavy.
That's a great one because they're all relatively new. I mean, Lynch has been doing it the longest, but Lynch, former player, Posey, a former player, Dunleavy, a former player.
Right.
So, and they all played, they're all Bay Area products. Lynch played his college ball at Stanford. He played at Tampa and Denver in the pros, but Dunleavy started as a Warriors draft pick, and then Posey was a Giants draft pick.
I would say Lynch would have to be one. He has the proven resume, and he's really done a good job in giving Shanahan one hell of a roster. In 19, in 21, in 22, and 23, the Niners arguably had more talent than any team in football. Right. So that's his job, is to draft well. And don't forget, he's the one, maybe along with Adam Peters as well. Who knows who gets the credit for it, but he traded for McCaffrey and he traded for Trent Williams, and those two, they may be two Hall of Fame players. So
yes,
Lynch has done his job. He has done his job to construct a hell of a roster for Kyle in 4 of his 8 years here so far. So he has to be number one.
He's won. Sure. Now it's a battle between Dunleavy, who was, what has he done? Is this his year 3? He's going into year 3 or?
Yeah.
2 or 3. Yeah. And then you got Posey in year 2. I'm going to give the slight edge to Dunleavy right now, because he added Jimmy Butler at the trade deadline, and that was a lot of his own working. He got the team into the playoffs. And and then Buster made the big deal for Devers, which was a huge deal. So
Dunleavy's got 2 years on him, obviously a head start. And Dunleavy has a huge advantage in that he watched and followed Bob Myers and learned from him, where Buster is following Farhan. You didn't learn much from him at all. So I think Buster's at a disadvantage in not having a guy that you actually watch on a day-to-day basis and learn from.
Great point about Dunleavy and Myers. Yeah,
I think at the end of the day, Buster is going to pass Dunleavy. I think Buster is a smart guy that is going to learn on his own mistakes that he made. I love the fact that he shut down the Bochy thing right away. Like he didn't let that simmer. Everybody was talking about it, and simmer, that's the right word. He shut that down immediately. He's like, no, he's not going to be the manager here. I'm going to pick my guy. He's going to probably pick a guy that he wants to kind of grow with for years and years and years, much like Shanahan and Lynch have together. So I think Buster will. Right now he's 3. I think eventually he will be 2. Dunleavy's got one hell of a job coming up in the next few years at reshaping the roster after the star players start retiring.
Yeah. Now, how would you rank the owners? Since we're ranking all Bay Area sports, we got owners. We've got Jed York with the Niners. We got Joe Lacob with the Warriors, and then you've got Larry Bear and Greg Johnson and a slew of others with the Giants. You want to start, or you want me to take that? Because I've got my owners real quick.
Yeah, Lacob won.
Yeah,
easily.
Lacob won easy. The runaway.
I don't know. We don't like Giants ownership very much, and I'm not a huge fan of Jed York. So I'm going to say Lacob 1, and the other 2 are 3 and 3A. I don't even think they deserve. I don't think they even deserve to be a 2. But you go ahead and give us
a runners up.
Tied for 3rd.
Yeah, you know what? I will do this. I will put the Sharks in on this one. I will go 1 Lacob, 2 Sharks owner.
Yeah, if we're including them, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I put the Sharks in there because they're trying to do it the right way. And as you said, 3 and 3B for the Giants and the Niners. All right,
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yeah. Do we have anything else we want? Do we want to cover the play-by-play guys?
Ooh, currently or all time?
Oh, all time. I've got some great ones, but
all time. I think my favorite Bay Area announcer is
Lon Simmons is mine, but
I love Bill King.
I love Bill King too, man. Grew up on Bill.
I love Bill King on the Warriors.
Yeah, Bill was great. Reggie Powers, you are. Oh, he would just go off on the officials.
But that's a good one. I mean, we got Tim Roy. I mean, let's leave TV out. Let's just go old school radio. Since we're both OGs, we got to go old school.
Yeah,
OG radio. So Tim Roy versus
you got Greg
Miller.
Papa on the Niners radio.
Greg Papa, once he comes back.
Papa, we'll count Greg.
Papa, and then who's radio on the Giants? Is it?
Miller and Dave Fleming for the most part. John Miller and Dave Fleming.
I would go probably Papa 1, Roy 2, and Fleming and Miller 3. And that's tough because they're really
That's a tough one. They're all great. I'm gonna go. Man, touchdown San Francisco. Oh man,
Papa's
how can you?
Legend.
Papa's. I love Greg. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pops, and I'm gonna go John Miller and Dave Fleming over Tim Roy. I like Tim Roy. I used to love Greg Papa when he did the Warriors.
Oh, I love Papa as a Warrior.
Sleepy
Floyd is Superman. Yeah. Isn't it funny about catch this? There's been 2 big moments in Bay Area history that Superman was referenced. One was Hank Greenwald when Will Clark got the hit off of Mitch Williams.
Yes,
Superman has done it again. And then Greg Papa when Floyd went off for 25 against the Lakers in the 4th quarter. Sleepy Floyd is Superman. He can't be stopped. So for those of you that love superheroes and keep saying that like Spider-Man and Hulk are number 1, no, it's always Superman that's referenced.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I got, I love John Miller and Dave Fleming on the radio. And when they get TV's a little bit different, but I don't think I have it on here. Shoot, I was going to play a little shout out from Dave Fleming to NorCal Sports Network that he did a little promo for us, but I can't find it in here. Yeah.
I think because of baseball that it's just a slower game, especially when it comes to radio where you don't have the visuals. The storytelling of baseball announcers are just from Lindsey Nelson to Hank Greenwald to John Miller. The
Bay Area has been very, very blessed with some great
announcers, great coaches. You got Bill Walsh, you got John Madden, you've had with the Warriors, Steve Kerr before that. I mean, Don Nelson, Bruce Bochy. I mean, the list is on and on. But if you want to talk about all-time announcers, we just kind of touched on the current ones. You mentioned Bill King, the legend. Bill King and Lon Simmons together with the A's teamed up, and that was phenomenal. Bill King doing baseball, but I love Bill King with the Raiders growing up and Bill King with the Warriors. But for me, Bill and Lon was a toss-up because I loved listening to both of them. Lon had the voice, though, that baritone voice, and his call on Young back to pass, and where
touchdown scramble against the Vikings.
Yes,
gets away again.
Gets away
to the 30. Gets away again. Come on, 20. And then that bull stumbles into the end zone.
Yes, an all-time call, man. I loved Lon Simmons, and I will be a little vulnerable here. When he passed away, I shed a tear. I felt like I lost something of my childhood because Lon had that voice, and he was just there every day during the baseball season growing up for me as a kid. And, that little transistor radio that I went to bed with the 9-volt battery, and I would just listen to him talk. And, because as I grew up as a youngster, I lost my father at a very early age. So baseball was very comforting to me, and Lon's voice, and just, you felt like you knew him because you said, the game back then, you had time for those stories because the half inning might last 20 minutes and you'd get these stories.
It wasn't in a rush.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it. Take your time, tell the story. I was shaking my head and cringing when you mentioned 9-volt batteries because, your mom and dad would say, don't put your tongue on it. And of course, as a kid, you're going to do it anyway. You're like, oh, shit. That stings, man. Oh, I had a flashback, man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, one last thing about announcers, and then my PA announcer, and I've said this before, I always loved Roy Steele.
Roy Steele.
Love Roy Steele. Now batting, third baseman, Sal Bando.
You got it, Los. Man, hey, you know what, Los? I think we should send this video over to the San Francisco Giants. You'd be a great PA announcer. You got that.
I can pronounce the Spanish players. That's for sure. Yeah. When I get close to the microphone.
There you go. Yeah. Come on, give me that Roy Steele again. The voice of God.
Left fielder, Joe Rudy. Third baseman, Sal Bando.
Shortstop.
And pitching for the Athletics, number 26, Jim Catfish Hunter.
Yeah, love it. Yeah. Campaneris to the plate.
There's a documentary on YouTube about Roy Steele. Every once in a while, I watch it.
He was great.
He was phenomenal. That's how a PA announcer, I'm sorry, is supposed to sound.
Exactly.
And you talk about being emotional when Lon Simmons passed away. As much as we get attached to players, and they're the ones that win or lose, they're the ones that win championships, and we remember all those. Players come and go. A lot more now than they used to back in the day, but announcers can stick around for 20, 30, 40 years.
Oh, yeah.
They become part of your family.
Kruk and Kipe are amazing, right?
Yeah,
Kruk and Kipe, if you grew up on the Giants, if you started following the Giants, early 90s when they kind of took over, in the early 90s after their careers ended, I think.
I think Kipe was the color he was in Kruko's role with Joe Morgan as far back as the late 80s, and then I think Kruko came a few years later.
Yeah, I think somewhere around there. But if you I think so much of your impact is when you're first start becoming a fan. If you become a young fan in your preteen years, 8 to 10, and then you grow up with them through your 20s. A little harder to get attached, I think, when you are 30 and 40 when you first start hearing these guys.
Agreed.
Yeah. There's something about that those memories as a childhood. And that's why I have such fond memories of Lawrence. And heck, I remember my first few years of baseball listening to Russ Hodges on the radio for the Giants. Russ Hodges and Bill, was it Simmons or I think so? Can't remember his.
Have you heard John Miller do his Vince Scully imitation?
Oh, he's classic.
Oh,
It's great.
And Vin's a Dodger announcer, but not too many better than him.
Yeah. Oh, well, I spent 13 years living in Southern California, and I'll tell you, nothing like listening to Vince Scully every day. He was such a wonderful man, and he loved the game so much. He was not a homer. He was not a homer. So you would get whatever team the Dodgers were playing, you would get great stories on those players as well. And he was just the best. He was the best. He really.
And the only PA announcer I would compare to Roy Steele is not in the Bay Area would be Bob Shepard, the old Yankee PA
Yankees.
Announcer. He had just a style about him and the voice. Yeah. Oh,
how would he say it? He would say the name twice, right? Wouldn't he go? Aaron Judge.
Shortstop. Number 2, Derek Jeter. Shortstop.
Yeah,
he'd say the name of the player, and
I
then
couldn't remember if it was something. If it was the position or if he'd say the last name twice. I can't remember.
He would say the name, and then he would say their position.
Yeah,
Derek Jeter, shortstop.
Yeah. Well, awesome time, Los. We've just gone over a little hour. Hey, a little over an hour, guys. Appreciate you watching this video. Comment below. Tell us your favorite announcers. Tell us your takes on who's the next champion in the Bay Area. And tell us if you agree or disagree with us on the GMs, who's the best, or president, baseball operation president of the team, who's the best manager, who's the teams that you like. Let us know what your thoughts are. Comment below. We read them, and we'll try to send out comments back, as many as we can. We appreciate you watching this video, and if you would, make sure to give it a like. We like to say smash that like button, like right there. Yeah, hit that like button and subscribe to NorCal Sports Network if you haven't done so already. So we will catch you on the next video or live. If you subscribe, turn on the notifications bell. Every time we go live, you will be notified. All right, Los, great job. Good catching up with reminiscing about old times and the current teams.
Always a blast.
All right. Till next time, we will see you on the next one.